Let's jump into the first phase, Mike. Left of boom. You've identified four topic areas here that are important. Why don't we jump in?
Well, again, like I said, you'd hear me talk about left of boom, boom, right of boom. Here we are at left of boom, and obviously, the by definition for me, it's before the event. Again, you need to understand your role and the role of your team. Again, what are our inputs? What are our outputs? Are we following a plan? Do we have a plan? Is everybody familiar with the plan? And have we practiced enough? If not, it may be a good idea to pull your team together and talk a little bit about what the expectations are for an event, or an event that probably or maybe hasn't even happened yet. But this is your preparation phase, understanding your role as a leader, inputs, outputs in your team. And you've heard us talk extensively about it under the myths. Who else needs to know? I'll just share a little story with you. In Puerto Rico, you heard me talk earlier about consulting with, or basically knocking on the door and introducing myself to some of the members of the Army Corps of Engineers. And I walked around and I learned an awful lot from them, realized the extent of the work they were doing and the incredible capabilities they had from a data gathering and a chain, supply chain coordination capabilities. I found I was just really impressed just by walking around for 5 or 10 minutes. So I said, let's talk again. We're probably going to invite a few of you down to our next staff meeting. We have them, once a week, and we'll invite you down. And one thing that struck me is, as I was leaving their area, we were one floor, they were one floor above us. As I was leaving their area and going to the door, there was a sign on the door that said, "Who else needs to know?" And, that was some 5 years ago. And I have never forgot that, to the point where when I went downstairs to our EOC, I put a similar sign up on our door. And what it tells people is, before you walk out that door, before you execute, before you take any type of significant action, who else needs to know? And again, it doesn't have to be that significant. You could be just leaving the room for a short period of time to do something that most people would find probably elementary. But the fact is, who else needs to know you're no longer in the room? Who else needs to know that you had to run an errand? So it could be as little as that, or it could be as large as we're going to make some very big changes here. So that's what that's all about. It's a lesson I learned. It's something that has stuck with me, and I encourage all of you to take a similar state of mind before you act.
Great. The next one you mentioned here is organization's last exercise, right? Yeah. How is that important into the prep?
Yeah, I'll make this pretty quick. If you join a new team and you're going to lead a new team, one of the very first things I have learned to ask is, when was the last time you had an exercise? If you get quality feedback that says, "Oh, our last exercise was on such and such a day, such and such a month," that's great. Your next question should be, "Can I see the results?" Or simply, "How did it go?" Do you have notes from an after action review that you did on that exercise that I can view? The other reaction you may get is that deer in the headlights look. If you do, and it can happen, if you do, plan your next exercise right then and there. While you have your team together, agree on a date, put it out there a little bit if you can, in order for people to be ready for it, and you yourself to be ready for it. But if you get that deer in the headlight look, plan your next exercise right then and there. Draw the line in the sand.
Excellent point. The next one is looking at, what are we expecting? And this is a big one, right? Let's dive into this.
This is for